Not one, but two cavities.
That should not be possible.
Hello and welcome to the Hoof GP YouTube channel. In this video, we're looking at a few cows who are skipping, dancing and running their way to the crush. We're looking at a few cows that have absolutely nothing wrong with their feet and a few that do. You're watching the Hoof GP. Welcome to the herd.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
Today we're at one of our regular farms, which lies about 4 miles to the west of my home, just outside of Wigtown here in southwest Scotland. As you can see, these lovely ladies are desperate to get into my crush to have their feet touched up. These girls are a true reflection of most of the cows we trim on a day-to-day basis.
You see, they're not very lame at all.
In general, farmers keep on top of their cows' feet as well as they possibly can, and most cows are not lame at all, provided we stay on top of their maintenance trims. You see, we've taken cows out of a natural environment and put them into a man-made one. So it's only right that man take care of their feet as well as we possibly can. And for anything else to be the case really wouldn't make financial sense whatsoever, because if these beautiful cows are not walking perfectly well, they can't do their job of producing that fantastically nutritious milk. As a professional hoof trimmer, we aim to get these cows' feet trimmed as quickly as we possibly can, all the while making sure we do the best job that we possibly can, which is why you can hear grinders running in the background. You see, 3 of us work on any one cow at any one time to make sure that we're done in as timely a fashion as possible. And when cows' feet are as good as these ones are, it helps a massive amount. We're only making very small adjustments to the vast majority of cows that we see, giving them a quick balance and modelling out the typical area where we find problems. This area that I'm working on right now. And once that's done, we check for any small complications and make sure we deal with them.
And this sprays just in case. Next cow. Next cow. Sometimes their feet can be very, very well looked after like they are on this farm. Even this cow's feet are fantastic, but things still go wrong. Do I get a wrap, Kev?
The farmer's been doing everything he can to look after these feet, but she still has digital dermatitis, hurting that nearest digit.
You see, these feet are perfectly well kept. This is very much a routine trim, but this cow is still really lame because of the problem on her heel. You see, I'm not taking any height off. This is called modelling out the typical sole ulcer site. Look how beautiful that is. Literally perfection. But this is causing her a great deal of pain. You can see the farmer's been treating her on a daily basis as she's going through the parlour. That's why it's so green. She's been sprayed in the parlour. I need to debride all of this area, and that first swoop actually just about got the whole job done. This is digital dermatitis. And it is seriously painful for the animal affected by it. Although the farmer's doing the best job they can of killing it, it's not quite getting the job done. So Kev is going to wrap it for us. And yes, the wraps are a different colour. We found these biodegradable wraps, so we're giving them a try. Yeah, so we're giving them a try because that's far better for the farmer because they'll dissolve and better for the environment in general, and actually they're not much more expensive anyway. Right, that wrap will come off in a couple of days' time, at which point that dermatitis will be healed. And again, I've said this before, sometimes cow's feet can look fantastic, like the last one with the dermatitis. And this one is no different. Very well kept, but very, very sore.
That should not be possible.
Yet again, this cow's feet are very well kept indeed. In fact, she was only trimmed around 3 months ago, but she's had an accident, just like you or I have in the past. This cow has slipped and banged her foot. It's caused inflammation within the hoof capsule itself, and that inflammation has only 2 ways out. It's either going to burst out the bottom or burst out the top, like it has here. When you're trimming a cow's foot like this, you really don't know what you're slicing into. You could cut into the corium at any moment. What we're dealing with is an educated guess. A presumption that this cow's hoof is the same as the last one we trimmed. And because of that, sometimes we get it wrong.
Sometimes there's little problems with the crush. We'll wait until a block's being applied. Have a bit more time so there's no downtime from us trimming the cow's feet. That's exactly what Kevin's doing right now, replacing the rope on the front foot.
And while Kevin's busy with that, I'm busy struggling to get my knife through this hoof horn. The conditions on this farm are drier than most here in southwest Scotland, and that leads to extremely hard hoof horn.
It just keeps going and going and going. Didn't think this was going to be quite as big a problem, to be totally honest. Have to strip away that sole separation by getting the blade of my knife in behind it and not cutting into this. Look, if I touch this, look how soft that is. It's paper thin, and that's the only thing separating my finger from the corium below. It is literally fractions of millimeters. You can see the amount of force I'm having to try to exert through this hoof horn to cut it away, but still be fractions of millimeters perfect and not graze or corium, which I'm saying right now like I haven't done, and I haven't obviously right now, but could happen if she flinches or anything like that, or I go too deep by trying to put too much power through it, then cause. There you go, she's flinched, you see? So I have to stop for a second, let her compose herself, and start again. Right out the corner of my eye, I can see Craig is eager and waiting for me to prepare that foot for a block, so I better get on to that.
Ignoring Craig's facial expressions for a second, one of the best things about working with Craig and Kevboy is the fact that they're always on the ball, looking out for whatever they can do to help. I never even needed to ask for the block there, and Craig was already on the job.
Here's the root of the problem. You can actually see a tiny amount of pus coming out of there. But even the smallest amount of fluid like that can cause pain.
Truth be told, I really wasn't expecting that, but I'm glad that I have found it, because it's a definitive answer to the question, have I found the problem? Yes, I have.
It's funny, that looked like a fairly big problem, But that tiny amount of fluid that we found at the very culmination of that trim is what was causing all of it. It's not particularly graphic, but what we've done will be massively beneficial for this cow. And now you know why Craig's here. You all wondered for so long why Craig's here. He's here for the coffee, aren't you, Craig?
Yeah, that's all I'm good for.
I actually feel a wee bit bad. I don't really. Look how cool these cups are. That is cool, isn't it? You can get these cups at thehoofgp.com, obviously. At what point in the...
You can get these cups at Costa Coffee.
He's a isn't he? I don't know where to go from that. Yeah, there's new merch on the store. Go to thehoofgp.com, links at the top of the description. There's cups that are these t-shirts, which are absolutely class. Designed them myself, and I am very proud of them, even if I do say so. And actually, for the next week after this video goes live, we're going to give 10 random people these t-shirts. You can only get these by ordering merch within 7 days of this video going live. So that's right, there is new merch in the store. This Cow Passion t-shirt, which is my favourite, that I designed, is in there right now, along with the hoodie to go with it. And this t-shirt here, this is actually plain on the front, but on the back, there's a full map of a cow's foot that teaches you all of the terminology and the names of every part of a cow's foot. So it's educational and it looks pretty awesome. And probably the sooner you order, the more likely you are to get one of these. Like I said, you can't buy these anywhere else. These are promotional t-shirts that we were giving away and we've got some left over. So this is the only place you will be able to get them. Right, I'm going to drink this and continue my day.
No, I haven't tried it.
Tried it?
No, I didn't.
Look on the back of them as well, by the way. I'm part of the herd. That's quite a nice little touch, isn't it? And then just like that, you've got a problem with a front foot and a very noisy cow. Notice that's before I've even touched her, by the way. See that, as soon as I start talking about it, she stops. I would love a pet cow, genuinely. Look how friendly they are. She's salivating, by the way, because she's stressed out. Cows don't like being in crushes. Would you like being in a crush? So they get stressed out, and when cows get stressed out, they salivate a lot. Right, enough petting, let's get our front foot fixed.
This cow has a white line defect on that far away claw as we look at it now. That's when a crack literally starts to split her hoof apart. You see, cow's feet are made of two components, the wall horn, which is the outer shell if you like, and the sole, which is what you can see me grinding away at right now. The junction where they meet is called the white line, and it's really prone to problems like this, which unfortunately take a lot of fixing.
Come on, Kevin!
Small wooden.
Yes. While he's doing that, look how beautifully kept her back feet are. These cows really are well looked after. The cows that we see in general are well looked after. It's just you guys see the problems that happen incidentally. Look at this. Perfect. Kevin trimmed her, and he literally did the perfect job.
It's really important when you put a block like this on to leave a good amount of glue between the block and the cow's foot itself. You don't shove the life out of it like this, because then all of this would skirt out the side.
And the strength in this glue lies in the glue itself, so you need plenty of it in there to make sure it doesn't just break away. That's one of the keys to ensuring good block retention. That nearly sounded professional. I truly wasn't expecting a cavity under there, to be honest. Oh wow. Not one but two cavities. Way up in there, right into the depths of her heel. I've just gone slightly too deep here in the pursuit of getting rid of every little shred of hoof horn that's causing a problem. Here's clearly the biggest issue. This cavity goes right into her foot and right up that white line, which is extremely hard to carve out. But carve out we must.
Now that it's a little cleaner, I can get my grinder out and attack what is one of the most risky parts of this trim. One false move and I'll go too deep, hurt this cow and worsen the problem. She's mooing because she doesn't want to be in the crush. The level of infection and inflammation from that infection means just touching this foot is uncomfortable for her.
These problems take an immense amount of time to actually fix because it takes a whole 8 months or so for the hoof to descend from here to here, meaning all of this needs to regrow for it to be totally healed.
These tiny fragments of hoof horn are extremely difficult to remove, but remove them we must, because they can literally be the difference between this completely healing and not healing at all. If any fragments of hoof horn are left behind, it's a place for bacteria, dirt and debris to be left hidden away from sight, doing the worst to this cow's hoof. So despite the amount of time, patience and care that it takes to remove these tiny shards of hoof horn, we must persevere.
Oh, we're getting there. This is actually trimming out really nicely. These are a real struggle to reach and make a good job of. So you can see this problem extends right up into the white line. These genuinely are incredibly hard to trim. There's almost always a little bit of claret because they go so deeply into the cow's foot, and when you remove that loose and detached hoof horn, it inevitably raises its head. I'm genuinely happy with the trim that we've done here, I really, really am. But regardless of how happy or how well I think I've done, this problem will take months and months to fix. It actually doesn't look like that major a problem, but to this cow, it really is. Imagine living with that every single day. It's no use for the cow, it's no use for the farmer, and it's certainly no use for us either. She looks fairly calm now though, doesn't she? Anyway, this wrap that Kevin is applying just now should help to completely dehydrate those outer layers of tissue and allow fresh new hoof horn to grow and form underneath. So for this little cow, hopefully that's the beginning of the end. As she walks away here, you can obviously see that she is unsure whether or not to put weight on this front left foot, but as she takes more and more strides, she will become more and more confident and understand that that block is now taking the brunt of the force and that the pain is starting to subside. Folks, you've been watching The Hoof GP. Remember, if you want a cup or merch or anything like that, go to thehoofgp.com. If you want some Costa cups, go to Costa. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to this channel.